Well, hello, and welcome to Stop Let's Team Up, my Legion Adventure number 18. And today we are covering Adventure Comics 302. And this Legion story got the cover. It's featuring the end of Sunboy. And it's a cool cover by Kurt Swan, penciler, and George Klein, inker, Ira Shapps, letterer. And Sunboy standing under a big dish mirror, and Superboy and Ultra Boy are using their supervisions, their flash vision, and their heat vision to try to repower Sunboy right in front of the clubhouse. And standing there watching is Cosmic Boy and Saturn Girl. It's a beautiful cover. I don't think me and my brother ever had this beauty in our collection. I've only read it in reprint form. I'm starting to notice ones that I had when I had the floppies. But let's get into the basic details. First, it's Adventure Comics number 302, cover dated June 1962. So probably came out in August of 62 if I'm doing the cover dates right. I may be wrong. It changed over the years. The first story in this thing is a Superboy story. It's called Superboy Meets Steelboy, with editor, plotter, Mort Weisinger, plotter, scripter, unknown. Okay. Penciler, Kurt Swan, inker, George Klein, letterer, Milton Snappin, and it features Superboy. The Legion story is the backup feature in this book. It is a 12-page story called Sunboy's Lost Powers. Editor, plotter, Mort Weisinger, plotter, scripter, Jerry Siegel, pencil, inker, John Forte, letterer, Milton Snappin. The roll call is Cosmic Boy, Saturn Girl, Chameleon Boy, Shrinking Violet, Superboy, Sunboy, Bouncing Boy, and Ultra Boy. The villain is Kranyak. It's Kranyak. I'm going to say Kranyak. And his four henchmen. Pete Ross has a little appearance because this coincides with Superboy 100. Which was Pete's birthday in that story. Okay, they misnamed They misnamed the century. Let's go into the synopsis. This is a pretty short entry in my handy dandy The Legion of Superheroes Index. All right, here we go. After attending the dedication of a Sunboy statue, Sunboy finds that his powers of heat and light have stopped working. With the help of the Legionnaires, he tries to recharge himself by duplicating the accident that gave him those powers, but to no avail. After his powers briefly return at an entomologist's office, he invites Ultra Boy and Superboy to concentrate their heat vision on him, still with no effect. Heartbroken, he resigns from the Legion, just as Kranyak, his old foe, breaks prison and comes after him. More worried than before, Sunboy realizes that it'll take a recharge of his powers and deliberately walks into the blast of a Kryptonian flame beast. With his abilities restored, he defeats Kranyak and rejoins the Legion. He then explains that he needed the heat vision of a living being to restore his powers, and Ultra Boy and Superboy present are robots sent to take those heroes' places while they celebrate Pete Ross's birthday in the 20th century. All right, I just reread this. This is, it's not the greatest comic book ever written, but it's not terrible. It's just one of these early tales of the Legion. It's a simple, little action story with maybe in this one a little too much dialogue, but it starts with, there's a lot of the weird world building, like the statue lights up. They shoot fireballs out of a bazooka in their future bazooka. You get Sunboy's origin. It's just briefly like one word. It's one panel, so let me read it. After the Legionnaires return to their clubhouse, and this is Sunboy talking now, I gained my superpowers years ago when I was locked accidentally in an atomic reactor chamber. The atomic bombardment transformed me into a human beacon of blazing light and heat. But now my superpowers have worn off. I must re-enter an atomic reactor and try to get recharged. And he does that with the future machines that look like, dental lamps and generators. They even fly in a flying saucer. They try to lower him into a volcano. The entomologist. There's some great John Forte panels of them sitting around the table, very static and stiff. with their nameplates. It's kind of some of these panels become kind of a meme. He takes his radio home. He's told he has to take everything with him. Poor guy. He has to resign when he can't get his powers back. And then Cosmic Boy goes, Dirk Mardana, that's your real name, and you are no longer our Sun Boy. It is my unhappy duty to tell you that we must expel you from our club. Please take back your nameplate and figurine and remove your other trophies and belongings out of your locker, too. I'm sorry, our association must end like this. And Sun Boy, joke. And Saturn goes, I will miss him terribly, Sun Boy. The Legion won't be the same without you. And then Superboy goes, goodbye, Sun Boy. Because that's a robot one. But he forgets that he's not allowed to take his radio, and he listens, he watches the news, and how the Legion, Cosmic Boy, Ultra Boy, and Superboy go to save a ship, but it's only Cosmic Boy that gets the powers. And then Bouncy Boy shows up and goes, give me back the radio because we kicked you out. All right, beat it. And then you see, Kranyak, his archenemy, this is the first time we've ever seen him, escapes from jail by eating a pill that turns him into gas. I will say I kind of like their outfits. They're like black superhero costumes with the purple. It's kind of like light Element Lad's later thing with the arrow pointing up, except it's purple and black. I don't know where the Kryptonian Flame Beast came from on this planet, but it's definitely... I love some John Forte alien. Everything's a dragon or a bug-eyed monster. It's very cool. The color is... I like the coloring in this. It's a lot of purple and black for the bad guys. There's some nighttime, and I like when he's on the alien planet, like the ground's purple, the ground's pink, the ground's pink, the sky's purple. Some of the plants are black, and the animals are multicolored. It's just a way of using all the colors you can. There's some good action pieces. It's raining, and Kranyak and his buddies use a freeze ray, try to destroy the clubhouse by crushing it with a big ice boulder. But they don't realize that Sun Boy's repowered himself from have a fire-breathing Kryptonian dragon breathe on him. And then he tells how he figured everything out in the flashback, which is kind of a trope in these eras sometimes when there's a mystery. You just see what the character's doing, and then they show you that there were clues. Superboy and Ultra Boy don't help save the boat and other things. But it's all in there. So it's a nice little story. It's a great comic. I enjoyed it a great deal. We've got a few more. We got a lot more of these kind of one and dones. We're getting close to where Saturn Girl gets elected. That'll be a big deal, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Actually, in this, she gets elected twice in like a year, so we'll do 2 of those elections, and I'll try to figure a way to do those elections differently each time, especially when we get to the ones where people are voted in by the fans, which is kind of cool. So I want to just touch on a couple other things we're going to do in Legion-wise. In 2 weeks, I'm going to sit down with Jim Fetters again, and we're going to talk Reboot, which will be fun. I've got some other projects coming my way, so I have some heavy-duty reading to do, so I'm probably going to catch up, maybe do a couple of these in advance and schedule in the post. On Thursday, don't forget, it's our Hulk issue leading in as we get closer to Marvel Feature 1 and the introduction of the True Defenders. But Legion-wise, I'm jumping around reading. This one's a good one. I'm going to be reading through some Reboot, which I'm looking forward to. I just got the second volume of that, which is awesome. I never saw it come out. And from when I posted on Twitter, it looked like a lot of people hadn't. So that's it for Legion this week, though. Saturday, I still haven't figured out what Saturdays is, but I'm going to have to record it tomorrow or Thursday, so it will be ready to go up. I will post it, so it'll be a surprise to all of us, okay? But next week we'll be back with Adventure Comics 303 and another Submariner issue, but there's a lot of good comic stuff. I am just gotten to the like 3 or 4 episodes into Young Justice Season 4, which is big Legion heavy one. Superboy is just spoilers. All right. If you're not watching, I'm not going to tell you what Superboy's done. But a big event has happened on that. I'm enjoying that. There's a lot of good stuff that hits my nerve groove. Star Trek, Star Wars, comic books. A lot of stuff. I'm enjoying the Obi-Wan. I'm enjoying Strange New Worlds immensely. I cannot rave about that enough. We'll want to plug 2 podcasts that kind of tie to that one. The Untitled Star Trek podcast, where Nathan Bottomley and Joe Ford randomly pick an episode from one of the many Star Trek series and then talk about it. Their most recent episode was about Strange New Worlds, episode 1, Strange New Worlds, and it was quite entertaining, and I enjoyed a great deal. And they're always fun to listen to. You can find Nathan on Flight Through Entirety, a Doctor Who podcast that I highly, highly recommend. It is the gold standard, I think, of Doctor Who podcasts, and I do 2 Doctor Who podcasts, and I bow to their amazingly witty and entertaining podcasts. Comic book podcast right now, I'm going to shout out again to Earth 2. I'm almost caught up. It's a great podcast. I'm really enjoying it. And as always, check out A World on Fire, the All-Star Squadron podcast, and Fantastic Comic Fan. Always a great 15 minutes of your day to listen to one of his Ron's episodes. Also, I am going to start, I promised myself I would listen to a Legion podcast, but I kind of want to get into 2 right now. I want to jump into Weird War Tales podcast, a World War podcast about that comic. I'm very interested in it. Max is very nice and plugs the show, so I'm gonna take a listen to. I'm trying to find a couple, 2 or 3 comic podcasts that only have maybe a half dozen or 20 episodes, because I kind of take breaks when I start to listen to a podcast. I want to listen to all of them, so I start at the beginning. So I've got a long-term one. I have to kind of jump in and out of it. Like I've been listening to Flight Through Entirety, taking a pause because I just listened to like 3 seasons of Doctor Who, and I wanted to listen to some Earth 2. I stopped that to listen to some Doctor Who plays. I kind of juggle what I listen audio-wise. But I really wanted to get back to Earth 2 and complete, but now I want to try Legion Out. I think I'm going to go with Legion Outpost, jump around and catch up with Relatively Geeky Podcast. I love that one because I can just jump into anyone and just listen to what he had read in the week. And it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed a great deal. And as I said, I'm going to give Weird War Pod a listen to. So, folks, that's it. A lot going on in the world. So, as always, be smart, be safe, be kind with one another, and read some comics.